you need to get involved in this conversation because it involves you, and it involves in a very big way your future. And so we are back with us on the set with Dr. Bitange Ndemo, and a young entrepreneur. Also, he wants. Do you want me to call you doctor? So you have maybe just briefly introduce yourself. Okay. You have been here before, but go ahead.
Yeah. First, thank you for having me in your show. My name is Victor Mula. I'm a trainee advocate by profession, and as you said, I'm an entrepreneur. I own a company. It's called Eastwave Media Services.
Eastwave Media Services.
Yes.
Now you are young. You are a young entrepreneur, and you are interested in matters ICT.
Yes.
And allow me to say you have an ICT guru here, right here. So I want you to, as you try to to set up your business, I'm sure you have a question you would like like some guidance. So ask Dr. Bitange Ndemo a question that might help in your in understanding this world of ICT.
Yes. Asante sana. So, Dr. I just want to ask you this question: as what advice, the best advice you can give a startup, upcoming young CEO like me, trying to venture into ICT? Yes.
Usually we say the best advice is to help you identify what we call the value proposition. Why do you exist, and where you exist? What value do you bring that other people are not providing? The way you know about it is to actually identify a problem and solve the problem. That's what most people don't understand. Once you solve a problem, then it's much easier for you to begin to scale the enterprise. Don't do a business that is what we call supply driven, where it is the customer who comes to you to ask you, but do something where you can take the product to the wider society. Yes. What we call the market itself, and begin to improve on that product. So you are doing videography, and you simply wait for someone to come to you.
Yes.
And then you do something. But in the meantime, you could, for example, film our cultural practices and then push it onto the market. There is a gap in the sense that we are losing our culture, and the people are talking, we need to go back to our culture. But nobody is actually going around to store this culture. That's number one. Number two, there is so much content that is being produced in the villages that is not captured by the mainstream media. For example, there are young people playing soccer in far-flung places. If you recall, the Messi, it is somebody who took a film of him playing, and the people said, wow, this kid can play. That's how he was discovered. Probably you also need to have a consortium of young people across the country capturing content from those who are playing at the village level, and they begin to identify the talent. And then from here, it's much easier for you to make more money than you are making at the moment. You can also decide that you are picking content from every church across the country. And once you begin to have clips that can go around social media in a big way,
yes,
you begin to make a name, and even everybody now would come to you. You must be thinking of a value proposition. What is it that you are doing that nobody else, KBC is not doing, or Citizen or any other station is not doing?
Thank you very much.
Maybe just to add on his question, right? So what are the opportunities like in ICT? What are the pitfalls, maybe we can say, and what are the things that he needs to be careful about as he launches or as he grows into ICT?
That's the biggest problem people get into, is doing what somebody is doing. I see what you are doing, I go to replicate, then we fight. over a very small number of customers. The best is to go through, and we have several problems, and say, I'm going to solve this problem. This is how I'm going to solve it. And these are my solutions. It's much easier that way because you make premium revenue when you are doing
something unique.
And when your target is the mass market. Usually we get into businesses where you sit at home and pray to God that a client comes. Clients don't just come to you. You must find yourself on how to provide your services to the mass market.
So you have to be proactive. You have to take the initiative,
yes, yeah,
and go to where the market is.
Exactly.
Instead of simply waiting for the market to come to you.
Exactly. If we are the only banana seller here, and I was walking there, I say, wow, I need to sell bananas. I come here, and soon we are 20 of us. Nobody would buy those bananas, or the price would come down so significantly. But if I walked around and saw people need processed bananas, banana bread, I'll be alone buying these bananas from these people at very cheap prices, and creating a value that nobody's doing.
Is doing somewhere else.
Group. Yes,
Did you have any other question to? Oh, it's good.
I had other questions, but actually the answer.
The answer he had is covered almost everything.
Yes, in fact, he had given me an idea.
Yes, absolutely. I was listening to it, and I was saying, boss, you have an opportunity here, and remember there's someone who's watching, so competition is very high right now.
Yes.
But as Dr. Bitange, on a lighter note, as you know, there have been, you talked about artificial intelligence, and we have the issues of robots, right? And now recently there have been this conversation about Samantha, and these issues have been here, especially in the Western world, and they have come also to our culture today. Do you think we need to look at ICT with a moral eye? Technology has also brought about, the issue, maybe, as we said, about addiction, even the matters of porn addiction and all that, and now this issue of sex robots. Are there some ethical underpinnings in ICT that you would feel, despite all the positive things that we have spoken about, are being overlooked, or is it that we are?
For a country like ours, I look at ICT in what problems we can solve. Yes, there are moral issues, but let me, because I wanted to say more about digital transformation, let me tell you one of the problems that nobody is solving here. Kenya is a liberalized market. We have like 100 to 200 we import vehicles into this country from different models. If the country continues to import spare parts of these vehicles, we will drain the money. We will run out of money. What I want to see is that young people can buy 3D printers. And when your car is hit and the lights are gone, you just go and someone prints it for you. This is happening. This is happening even here in Kenya, but we are not doing it. We instead have to import or pay someone who is printing the same from Japan, from other places to import. Imagine how many spare parts we can print in a day. That is where employment comes in. If we can't begin the discourse of employment out of ICTs and only pick the negative things, that, it's going to finish jobs, and we need sex, whatever, we lose the point.
Yes,
we lose the point.
It's true.
Let us look where the positives are. Our problem is employment. ICT is creating those employment. How can we enable, in every town, we have someone who can print a spare part for the vehicles, for the motorbikes. We can't buy a motorbike from Japan and go buy the spares from Japan, when technology can enable us to do the same in this country.
Do you see us already moving in that direction, or?
We must move that direction. What are we going to do with so many young people?
Who are
15 million without job. So the only way is to create opportunities and show them the opportunity.
Perfect.
How do we add value to this? We need a wider discourse on this, how ICT can help to create jobs, and many jobs, not the discourse that ICT is going to take up, it's going to kick us out of jobs.
True, true.
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for coming to this show, and I want to thank you for your, you have a lot of experience, I have to say, and the way you're able to move from one topic to another in the area of ICT, it's just brilliance itself, and I thank you for making time so early in the morning to come and speak with us as we finish up this show. And I really want to thank you for even taking time to answer the question of a young entrepreneur to mentor, and I hope we can be able to continue with this conversation with you, Doctor. And I want to thank you. I'm sure you have children, you have nieces and nephews who would benefit from Britannia. So Britannia Biscuits are sponsoring our first year anniversary. By the way, which camera? Yeah. So the Britannia have given us some giveaways because today is our first year anniversary as Y254. And so if keep this conversation going, go to our Facebook page at Y254 or even eCircuit. Go to my own page. So I am Dominic George. And I remember after this eCircuit begins, so go to the page and like the page, ask questions, and if you've got an SMS, go to 22162 and keep this conversation going, so that we can be able to, as young people, get more and more involved. So thank you, Britannia, and thank you to Dr. Bitange Ndemo for making time to be with us. So thanks again to Bitange Ndemo, and thank you, Mr. Muller, for making time to come. So thank also to you, all my viewers who have been with me during this show, the Power Talk Show. I really appreciate, and I wish you a great weekend ahead. And always remember what I always say: be mad, be exceptional, make a difference. See ya.